A very warm welcome to the Gavel. I am Lasisi. As weeks turn to months and days go by, one is reminded that the life of the 8th National Assembly is coming to an end. The lawmakers are, however, keeping their eye on the ball and carrying on with their legislative duties. This week, the security situation around the country caught the attention of lawmakers in the House of Representatives. This is one of the reports we have for you today on the program. And the National Assembly has passed the 2019 budget. When was it passed? Were there thorny issues? We have those answers for you on the program. Let's start with our security report.
I put a question.
On Thursday, the House of Representatives again considered the worsening security situation in the country. For over 2 hours, the lawmakers narrated the challenges their constituents are faced with in different parts of the country, especially in the north. The debate commenced when a lawmaker from Katsina State raised a motion of urgent public importance on the attacks and kidnapping taking place in his constituency.
That the recent spate of the said attacks on members of my constituency has reached an alarming stage, as the perpetrators of this deadly act continuously kill innocent persons in my constituency and set their home ablaze, while defenseless men and women are abducted to unknown destination. Worried that up to 4 villages within my constituency are currently under attack. In the last 48 hours, up to 4 villages under my constituency are currently attacked, namely Kasai village in Batsari local government area, where no fewer than 5 persons have been killed. Al-Hazar village in Safana local government had been totally displaced. Guzra village in Safana local government also had several persons murdered in cold blood, and just yesterday, Gobra village came under attack with not fewer than 12 people dead.
Different lawmakers rose in support of the motion, painting a painful picture.
It's like the whole of the north. Yes, in the southeast, southwest, you have kidnapping and everything, but it looks like the whole of the north is taken over by, I won't call them bandits, I won't call them terrorists, I will say the failure of our governance.
Even if you bring the entire farm machineries, agricultural machineries from the world to Nigeria, now people in the north cannot go to farm. They cannot. People cannot go to farm. The issue is not about farming now. People need solution to this issue of insecurity first. Mr. Speaker, our people cannot go to market, village markets today. So trading has collapsed. The issue of social interaction has collapsed because people can no longer go attend funeral. Because there was a time in Funtua, in Sabo local government just last month, when they killed, when people were about to bury the people, the lost one, the people resurfaced again and people had to take to their heels. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, we need to tell ourselves one question.
What is the foreign reserve?
Where are those people coming from?
Talk about the issue.
Where do they get their weapons? Because the weapons they are using are sophisticated weapons, Mr. Speaker. If IT will tell Nigerians that over 1,000 lives were perished in the first quarter of 2019, and over 600 people were kidnapped in the first quarter of 2019, I'm not praying for the best thing to happen, Mr. President and Mr. Speaker.
The Magajin Garin Daura, who lives few houses to the house of Mr. President in Daura, who is married to Mr. President's sister, who's the president-in-law is married to his daughter, today is being kidnapped. Some people came with guns in a Peugeot 406 vehicle, as I was reliably informed by the member representing that constituency, went and picked this man. Mr. Speaker, where are we going? Mr. Speaker, I cannot go to my village and sleep. I cannot go to my village and spend a night as I'm speaking to you. For the last 1 year, wallahi, I can't go to my village and sleep. I feel very insecure. And this is where I find myself. Mr. Speaker, it is terrible. It is terrible. We have to do something about it.
The lawmakers also called for decisive steps to be taken to address the challenges.
Mr. Speaker, we cannot continue to have these conversations. Kidnapping has become exceedingly lucrative. Today, I was listening and they were charging 60 million for the UBEC chairman. I don't know if they paid 60 million or 13 million. It is more lucrative than any job in Nigeria. What are we doing about those things? I believe that we must start to have proper conversations, not continue to talk about the effects of the problem. But unless we have proper conversations about population control, education, human resource development, and arrest in a way that disincentivizes Nigerians from continuing to do these things. Unfortunately, this House is always going to have these conversations and continue to seek intervention. Again, my heart goes out, but we must stand up the military, we must stand up the police, we must have true, open conversations about the reasons for these things and not continue to talk about the consequences of the conversations that we refuse to have.
Mr. Speaker, let's tell ourselves the truth. Nigeria is becoming a failed state. So if we are a failed state, what do we do when we have failed? This is the next question that we ought to answer. Let us say, first of all, that we are a failed state and therefore begin to address those issues frontally and logically. So, Mr. Speaker, let us not just be coddling this matter as if we are massaging a very serious ailment that all of us are afflicted with as a country. Now, it's affecting Katsina State. Last week, when we passed the budget, we were told that, well, the 10 billion naira intervention was for Zamfara State because of some mining activities. Some of our colleagues here raised the issue that, look, this insecurity is happening all over the country. Katsina State, where the president himself comes from, is under siege. Kaduna State is under siege. My state, Plateau, is under siege. We have lost many traditional rulers. Solomon Maren, his first-class chief, was killed. Till today, nothing has happened about it. Mr. Speaker, and these are not very, very serious matters. So the way that we are treating these matters with levity is what shows that we are a failed state. Mr. Speaker, it is very sad. But I think time has come that a spade should be called a spade. Action should be taken. Some people whose jobs is to secure the lives of Nigerians and they're not doing it, they should be shown the way out. And not only sacked, they should also even be prosecuted because there is negligence on their own part.
Mr. Speaker, blaming the security agency, let us tell us, we don't have anything like security. They are overstretched. We don't have any equipment. For more than 5 months in my area, they are planning for an operation. Nothing is taking place. People, if they want to travel to Kaduna now, they have to gather themselves and then look for vigilante group that will escort them to Kaduna. And after they are, whatever they are going to, they have to be taken back to Birnungwari. What are we telling ourselves? We said it several times on this chamber that the needful has to be done, even if they are going to do it, whatever operation they may call it. We are just doing operation on TV. I don't see where, if security agencies are going to conduct operation, they go on TV telling people that, and it's just a mere show up. Mr. Speaker and honorable colleagues, Mr. President has to stand up and wake up and do the needful. The issue is no more local, it's no more national, it's international. The earlier we declare this terror attack as an international, with international dimension, the better. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, all our economic and social life has been destroyed. Economically, nobody, I think, in Birnungwari can be able to go and farm this year.
The proposal, which sought to declare a state of emergency in the northwestern region, was rejected by lawmakers.
Honorable Dambaram's motion is that it should be the entire northwest region because all the states are affected. So that's the amendment that he's seeking. And it's been seconded, so I'll put the question. Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against it say nay. So the nays have it.
Another amendment, however, sailed through.
Amendment that the president should be invited to address the National Assembly on security situation all over the country and measures been taken by the government to solve the problems. And I'll put the question. Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against it say nay. The ayes have it.
Following these amendments, the motion is passed. Apart from inviting the president, the lawmakers also urged the federal government to declare a state of emergency in the federal constituency under attack as an immediate step to address the challenges in the area. A lot of people have been wondering when the 2019 budget will be passed by the National Assembly. Well, this week, the budget was passed. Our next report looks at the twists and turns that led to the passage of that bill.
Proceedings of Thursday.
After taking the 2019 appropriation bill through the necessary legislative steps on Tuesday, the Senate Committee on Appropriation was ready to present its report on the bill.
A bill for an act to authorize the issue from the Consolidated Revenue Fund of the Federation the total sum of $8,906 billion.
The Senate also adopted the recommendation of its Appropriation Committee, which proposed that 10 billion naira be added to the budget.
The Appropriation Committee hereby recommends that 10 billion naira be added to the already stated aggregate expenditure.
Other additions, including 23 billion naira as provision for the severance benefits of outgoing legislators and legislative aides, brought the 2019 budget to 8.916 trillion naira against the 8.83 trillion naira presented by President Muhammadu Buhari. The Senate leader, however, sought further clarification on a certain provision in the budget.
Northeast Intervention Fund. What exactly does that mean? Is it meant for the Northeast Development Commission or is it going to another organization?
Northeast Intervention Fund is meant to be utilized by the newly established Northeast Development Commission.
Those against the nay.
After the bill is passed, the Senate adjourned for an hour to allow its secretariat prepare the votes and proceedings for the day for quick adoption to allow prompt transmission of the appropriation bill to the President. When they reconvened, they adopted the votes and proceedings and adjourned to the 7th of May 2019. The report of the House Committee went through a similar process in the House of Representatives, with the chairman of the committee introducing the report.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to move a motion for the consideration of 2019 appropriation bill. Mr. Speaker, I do move for. I so move. Thank you.
The inclusion of funds for Zamfara State draws reactions.
That security challenges in the Northwest is not peculiar to Zamfara. They've spilled over. Birnin is as much in the map as Zamfara, and it is in Kaduna State.
Mr. Speaker, it was noted by the security agencies that because of the gold mining going on there, it created a special security challenge, which the government needed to re-establish control.
The issue is resolved and the consideration continued.
Clause 5, excess revenue carried. Clause 6, authorization carried.
Eventually, the report is adopted.
Long title carried. I guess that's all.
The House, however, adjourned on this note for the day without passing the bill. The House resumed on Thursday, and the 2019 appropriation bill passed through third reading, completing its journey in the House of Representatives. A clean copy of the bill will now be sent to the President for assent.